Hey, okay. So Rumble just dropped Rumble Studio, which is a competitor and replacement for Restream and all those other browser-based streaming software apps. So we're testing it today. Should be live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Locals, all from within Rumble on the web. Exciting. It's going to save SuperSpreaders hundreds of dollars paying these other people. Restream is who we were using. But there's 3 or 4 big players in that market, and they all want hundreds of dollars a year. So Rumble, who you have to pay anyway to be able to stream on, you might as well get some bucks out of it. All right, so just for fun, we're going to watch today. There was some amazing developments over the last week with one of the biggest reasons why all of your favorite movies, TV shows, comic books, video games have all turned to shit is that they're all hiring BlackRock inspired and forced DEI companies, the biggest being Sweet Baby Inc. It's been involved with dozens of video games over the last few years, all of which turned out terrible and financial flops or giant disappointments compared to their non-Sweet Baby Inc. Counterparts. We're going to watch the amazing It's a Gundam on YouTube. This guy's hilarious. This New York guy. He's hilarious. The video will be bonkers. And we'll just react to it and test out the stream. If anyone's watching on Rumble, shoot some chats in because this finally incorporates all chats. Before we couldn't get Rumble, where our biggest audience is, we couldn't get chats into the stream here and showcase them live. So anyone watching, shoot some comments in here so we can test it out. All right, here we go with Gundam. Let's see. Nope.
Well, it looks like Sweet Baby devs have finally shown their cards. While some were more covert and immediately hid their accounts, others decided to go to war with gamers.
Good luck.
Have you learned nothing from Gamergate? On February 28th, Niche Gamer covered a Steam curator that made it their mission to warn gamers if Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in the creation of said game they were interested in. Keep in mind that this group has a goal of letting people know about the games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on. We are not, in any means, a...
Okay, so it's definitely, I'd say this is a post-alpha build. Oh, let's see. Hey, Triple K Mafia, I see you there. What do the Triple K stand for? Let's see. So, okay. So, it's a little awkward, but I can put chats up on stream. Huh. Can't really... Can't reply to it, though. Okay, so I'd have to... Give me 1 sec here, guys. And I will go to the actual Rumble site. I can pop out the chat window. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. So there I can go. So I can see YouTube comments. We'll pin that there. So, hey, Ben, I see you on YouTube, but I can't reply within this Rumble Studio. Huh. So, I mean, I'd have to have all my streaming locations windows open to reply. I'll do another test. Maybe we'll find something else to react to every day while I'm testing this out. And maybe if I use Google Chrome, maybe Brave browser is blocking this chat window, though. I mean, everything else is working. Isn't that something? All right, we'll get back to watching here. I'll get the YouTube stream up so I can
A
say
group that
hi.
is trying to bubble Sweet Baby Inc. or even convince people to not buy any game that they are working on. And the group also takes this information directly from Sweet Baby Inc.'s website. So there's nothing really nefarious going on here. Well, the devs at Sweet Baby Inc. didn't see it that way. In fact, they didn't take too kindly to this and did what progressives and the criminally weak always do. Try to drum up a
Our
cancel
volumes,
mob.
can you
Except
hear it?
this time, they played themselves and only brought more attention to the
Can you
Sweet
hear it,
Baby
the
Inc.
Gundam?
detector. Delicious. Kyle was among the first to pick up on this because the dev made the foolish mistake of going after him in the past.
Working in AAA is fun because there'll be people dedicated to making right-wing conspiracies about your job. And that's normal. Take this guy, for example. No Life doesn't know how games are made, probably musty, dedicates an inordinate amount of time posting to an audience of nobody about us. Brace yourselves for this guy. It might not be him, but it'll be close.
You'd be an expert in harassment, huh, boy? Hope you're as sure as you were that I'm right-wing, musty, and have an audience of nobody. The light's on now, skirt.
And it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
The Steam curator harassment group Sweet Baby Inc. Detected is led by a person, Caboostus Rambo. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported. Even with the discriminatory language filed off, the group itself still fails the code of conduct. Anyway, report the fuck out of this group and report the creator since he loves his account so much.
Interesting. Targeting a minority with a harassment campaign. How progressive of you, Chris. So the guy who made the group to let people know what games your studio is factually working on is the villain. And you trying to get him banned off Steam and lose all of his games and his 13-year account. You're the hero.
Yeah!
Chris then blocked Caboostus. When someone from Sweet Baby Inc. hates you, it shows that you're probably on the right side. Of course, Sweet Baby Inc.'s Chris locked his account right after blocking Caboostus. I guess those nobodies sure did add up. These people are always so smug and sanctimonious when they think that they have the upper hand or greater numbers behind them. But once the pendulum swings in the opposite direction, they cry foul and hide their heads in the sand, praying that this all blows over and they can go back to making crap for video games, while breaking their arm to pat themselves on the back, pretending that no minority did anything before them. Caboostus made a Steam page for the crime of making a group letting people know what game Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in. And I only wish that Caboostus made this sooner so I could have known more ahead of time, because I wouldn't have bought Spider-Man 2 had I known. Within hours, news outlets and online personalities picked up on Sweet Baby's strong-arm tactics. They wielded all the power of an emaciated Antifa member on hunger strike.
Sweet Baby Inc. employees advocates for diversity and inclusion while trying to censor a Brazilian user from Latin America. I don't think this will improve their reputation. Caboostus? Oh, and by the way, I'm not a Latinx. We hate this term. You hear that, Sweet Baby Inc.? Sweet Baby Inc. employees have begun inciting harassment campaigns against the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam curator.
Grums even stepped in.
Wow, I looked at Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and here are the games they are found linked to this Cancel Pig campaign.
Grums, for those who don't know, was a Blizzard developer back when Blizzard was actually the shit, you know, when Warcraft originally launched on PC and everybody lost their lives by playing this game and never going outside. And he's been outspoken for years about the dumpster fire that is known as modern gaming. But anyway, his tweet brought something to my attention. One, Sweet Baby was involved with
Gotham Knights.
I wasn't 100% sure, so I cut a whole segment on
Gotham Knights.
from my last video. The fact that they were brought back to work on Sushi Squad after the failure
Gotham Knights.
is amazing. Two, they were involved in the worst Bethesda game to date, Starfield. You might think I'm being facetious, but I'm really not. Starfield was so bad, the modding community gave up
A game, it makes me happy that I don't have an Xbox or a PC. That looks like such garbage.
on fixing it. Let that sink in. People that fix Morrowind threw their hands up at this shit. Stop them! 3, Forspoken. Oh my God. The dialogue in that game was so bad, it was painful. Forspoken sold so poorly, it closed down the damn studio that made it. How Sweet Baby walked away from that fire without so much as a scratch is also amazing. Now we've got the Sushi Side Squad failure. Come on now. Okay, here's where the story gets a little interesting and annoying and retarded. So if you're not in the mood for dumb crap, I suggest you leave. Felix, I featured them in my most recent video on Sweet Baby. Well, the Links is back again, and as always, is an absolute bellend. The rabbit hole on this human is so deep, I'm not even really getting into it. We're scratching the surface, then I'm leaving. You want to find out more, you waste your life. I don't get paid enough for this. The too long didn't read. Felix was a woman 6 years ago, but now it's a they, them.
Oh my God. Let's just move on.
Here's Short Fat Otaku from 2017 to explain to you the life and times of Felix.
My heartstrings and
Is
doesn't
that
let go.
Maya Kramer?
I just want to hear more about it. And luckily, I've got the perfect person to talk to today. I am joined by Felix Kramer, the
It is Maya Kramer.
known as
Wait,
Secret Legend. But you
What?
got some special
Yeah,
announcements.
that's
I
Maya
saw some
Kramer.
secretive
Her,
tweets from
Felix
the
is what she changed her
Twitter
name
account.
to.
Yeah, do you wanna
Why
talk
the
about that?
fuck is
Well,
she
you're
here?
absolutely right. We were
She's
known
like
as
a
Secret
living
Legend,
hack.
today we're announcing
She's
that
also
we
gained at
will
least
tweet
50 pounds since I've last seen her.
Oh,
I met her once at a con like 10 years ago.
There's an old Blizzard.
She was actually like a decent human at one point. She didn't like she kind of let herself go, and when she started letting herself go, she went into like the health at any size bullshit. She was like, like it's just natural for women to get fat when they get old. It's like, no, you can work out and just no. This is just it's patriarchy. It's patriarchy. It's patriarchy, guys. And then like
honestly, a huge surprise.
after she lost all of her natural beauty due to getting fat, she like shaved the side of her head and dyed it green. She started fucking Zoe Quinn. She was one of the people that she cheated on. Like Zoe cheated on Aaron with was her.
Brendan Green, welcome. Thank you.
And she now lives in Vancouver as an indie game dev. She works for Silver String Media.
Is a queer-led video game and narrative design studio crafting original games, providing services in digital placemaking and storytelling. With leadership based in Vancouver, BC, and a team of diverse talent across Canada, each of us brings a unique voice and multiple values perspectives to the development process.
And Anita Sarkeesian was the director there.
Everything comes full circle.
Those of you guys who have been watching, like who watched our Gamergate videos way back in the day, we had like a big expose on her because she was that fucking ridiculous. You guys all know who Silver String is, and you guys all know who Zoe Quinn is. She's just part of that shitty crew.
Thank you for the experience.
So for ultra boomers watching and non-gamers, Gamergate was this thing, 2016, 2015, where it was discovered. It all blew up from a game that was getting like glowing reviews on a gaming site, but it was a like piece of crap, and it turned out that it was the reviews and the gamer developer Zoe Quinn, kind of green-haired social justice warrior developer, was screwing the journalist who was putting out the good reviews. And then it came out that all of the green-haired journalists were all in Discord and Slack rooms together discussing which anti-Trump article to make next, and which games were good and which were bad, and fight the right wing and all this stuff. And that led to finding out that left-wing journalists at all levels were communicating beforehand and organizing their stories and their voices, and that should have been world-altering news. Your journalists are getting together and planning out their stories and not being objective. But instead, it turned into, guess what? Female harassment. So, from mainstream media to whatever degree they do cover it, said it's a bunch of hairy, smelly, basement-dwelling, neckbeard gamers hating on women. Poor women aren't allowed to develop games, and they'll get attacked and stuff like that, when really it was a story about nepotism and journalistic integrity. So it's turning out that this Sweet Baby Inc. company that's forcing DEI into games, it's all the same people are involved. And this guy talking here on the inset in Gundam's screen. Get my finger on screen. Yeah, there. um, that's an ex-Blizzard developer who complains quite loudly on Twitter about kind of modern culture ruining games, yada yada. And so he's speaking about one of them who was a girl back in the day and now is theoretically a boy, Felix.
It says both of the joy of
And the worst part
winning
about her
and
is that she was actually a half
or
decent
just the
human
joy
about a
of the
decade
bullet
ago.
flying through my head out of nowhere, and I'll never know why.
You gotta learn to love.
I thought she had just
Love it.
like been resigned to obscurity. I never thought I'd actually see her again ever.
Even though a lot of people, treat the
Yeah,
game
she was in the
as
Indefensibles,
super
exactly, yeah.
now.
I get to see a lot of tweets somehow blaming
Oh, and yeah, also for the boomer non-gamers, it's arguable that Gamergate made Trump possible in the States. It's arguable. Once Gamergate started happening, this gave rise to many of the top YouTube accounts that we still know to this day. Sargon of Akkad, trying to think of who else could be called, Gamergate. Jim, Mr. Medicare, and inspired a lot of the discussion that we're used to now, fired up the anti-SJW crowd. And then when Trump announced, it was from that group of people that we got some of the best meme attacks and the all-out push to get Trump elected that was going on Reddit and 4chan and stuff. It was really heavy behind the scenes that one wonders if Trump would have won without Gamergate. So once again, the left's plans backfire.
diversity as a reason for layoffs, genuinely as if the economy was doing really great and capitalism simply worked before Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Also, they don't recognize Miles as Spider-Man.
No, we don't recognize Miles as Spider-Man. That's why it says Miles Morales on every comic book.
The weirdest part is when I see these takes from developers or people who have dev bios. At least, I don't know, it seems wild that devs would see thousands of layoffs and blame them not on the industry giants, but instead a 15-person narrative company founded by a black woman.
Well, your company sucks. Yes, blame it on bigots. It couldn't be that Sweet Baby Inc. literally was involved with, 3 or 4 failed games that people hated. Couldn't be that. No, everybody's just a racist.
These people think companies of narrative designs that freelance on projects has somehow single-handedly caused the unemployment collapse in gaming instead of, the insane notion of infinite growth or capitalist greed.
Okay, for those curious about Rumble Studio, Twitter comments do not come through into the live chat conglomeration here. That's disappointing. Continuing.
It's easier to blame diversity than that somehow.
No, greed is definitely in the mix, but the reason why you even have a job is because of greed. So you should probably be thankful for greed, because if not for the greed of ESG, you wouldn't be here.
The other part of this, it doesn't matter if you tell them the truth. They think DEI just steps in and changes whole games, that creators are forced by some unseen hand, the government, BlackRock, I guess, as well as just POC in general, to make games more inclusive.
You now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
I've seen
Well,
that.
behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year, and what we're doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
We're doing the same thing.
and so it's just you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as Ken is that we have not seen more opportunities. And we're going to have to force change.
This is like the type of tweet you hear from a woman.
Fighting misinformation would be great, but social media plus YouTube is not equipped to hold people accountable for doing real research in good faith and just letting hits blah, 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 blah.
Get out of here with that. People did research, looked at you, you kind of suck. That's the long and the short of it. They need to be held accountable.
Love how she just barfs off that Oh, you right-wing conspiracy theorists. I guess it's BlackRock or something making us destroy all your favorite games, and cut immediately to an interview of BlackRock forcing us to diversify everything ever.
For having an opinion I find mean. That's how a woman thinks, not a dude.
For example, Steam doesn't have guidelines for curators. As far as I could tell, this would prevent someone from starting a curation group that focuses on, say, Sweet Baby Inc. and warns people not to buy games they're associated with.
This was seen by over 500,000 people. Basically, Felix came in trying to stop a fire by throwing gasoline on it in a room full of lacquer paints and blew the house away.
What? I am angry at the fact that they get to use a tool that should be for building communities to simply spread information fueled by racism and other social media sites. Like, it's such an inherently difficult part of social media side.
But they did build a community. The community just doesn't like what you do. That isn't racism. You're like, why do progressives always scream something's racism if a majority of people say it sucks? The Sweet Baby detector doesn't appear to be breaking any community guidelines, but that never stopped the progressive from screaming they were being targeted anyway. Long and short of it is, Felix then starts to fight with people on Twitter all goddamn day like a schoolgirl with no life and a love for Harry Styles. So we're just moving on. Grums then comes back and points out a long-forgotten accusation. Felix here was helping Zoe Quinn DDoS attack a charity event in 2014.
Here's Sweet Baby Inc.'s employee, Lego Butts, admitting to illegally DDoS attacking a charity event that was trying to promote women indie devs. So this is who Sweet Baby Inc. hires.
So there's history between Grums and Felix.
By the way, this account, Lego Butts, is the biggest of the cancel pigs, was Zoe Quinn's PR person and tried and failed to cancel me many times. I'm not surprised it ended up at Sweet Baby Inc. Lego Butts sat on Twitter for months and worked to get a lot of people banned from Twitter or their job.
This explains how this person sits there and fights with
Turned
people
off
all
direct
day over this
monitor.
dumb shit. Now, if you look it up, you will find a 10-year-old post on Reddit, damn near to the day. I'll try to make this fast.
The fine young capitalists in the media of blackout. They're running a charity with the goal of encouraging women to join the gaming industry and produce games and donating to charity. They have taken ideas from women about cool games they'd like to make, yada, yada, yada. They also somehow managed to receive thousands of dollars donated to them from 4chan. I repeat that. A charity event promoting women in the gaming industry had received thousands of dollars from 4chan. On February 28th, they were doxxed, they were banned from Twitter, and their servers were hit with DDoS attacks. They still tried to push forward, despite losing $10,000.
Long story short, they're over now and they're banned. Here is the quote, February 28th of 2014. Lego Butts, oops, we DDoS something on accident. Additionally, Quinn said a few minutes later, I like how the conversation between me and Lego Butts resulted in accidentally killing an exploitative startup's website. This small piece of Gamergate nostalgia was like reading a section of Homer's The Iliad. If you want to know more, you can look it up yourself and go through this Bible of garbage. It's clear our boy, they, them pronoun Felix was involved in Gamergate goofiness, which explains why they appear to be terminally online with no clear idea what harassment or racism is. The more damning evidence has clearly been scrubbed off the internet or lost in the sands of time, other than a few tweets of Felix simping for Quinn. There's also a screen cap where they doxed the charity planners Facebook page. The link is now gone. Zoe Quinn did address the accusations of DDoS attacking their site on a Tumblr post that is now lost with the sands of time. But here's a copy pasta, because apparently people in 2014 didn't know what the hell a screen cap was. And I'm not reading all of this. Frankly, I wouldn't trust a damn word Zoe Quinn has to say when she put up a GoFundMe for a video game that was never released, while using Tinder in Japan looking to get laid, as people sent her messages wondering where their money went. Much like the events of the young capitalist being destroyed and no video game outlet covering it, Zoe Quinn's missing video game has never been talked about on any major video game publication. Makes you think, doesn't it? My take on Felix, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw them. It's clear as day that they were involved in Gamergate bullshit. As of now, the Sweet Baby Inc. detector has over 40K followers in a day. Keep it up. These people need to learn. You work for us, and you...
Oops. All right. And screen share. All right, cool. So pretty successful test of Rumble Studio. Actually, very exciting because Rumble's been very hobbled for live streaming. So this is kind of exciting news. I'd say it's a little bit alpha. I don't have a lot of the options for changing how the screen looks. It's early days. Live chat, I'm able to see locals, YouTube, and Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch. Me at least testing out comments. Actually, I should log into a different account and find this stream and see if I can comment, see if it'll show up here. That'll be it for content today, everyone. I'm just continuing to test how this system's working. For tech reasons, it'll be kind of boring. But then, yeah, maybe we'll... Oh, what? I can't comment unless I pay? Oh, the stream is set up for verified only. Okay. Nice trick there, Elon. What if I go to locals? Yeah, I can still only log in as me. Yeah. All right, I'll have to make a sock puppet account and test that out. Yeah. And then, I mean, how do I change my name to show J instead of SuperSpreaders? Because sometimes I'm going to have rain on here. Can't change it there. Yeah. Can't change it there. I'm just forced to be SuperSpreaders. Okay, we can invite people, so we'll have to test out guests next time. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll do another reacts next time there's something to test here. Love you all, and let's spread it.